Okay, good morning, everyone. It looks like everyone has joined us here today. I'm Dr. Brian Gasper. I'm the Division Chief of Instructional Quality here at the department, and myself and our team, we are happy to present to you our roadmap series on instruction and assessment. So please sit back and enjoy this fantastic presentation.
Welcome to PDE's Roadmap for Education Leaders Focus of Instruction presentation. The purpose of this webinar is to inform educators of the instruction and assessment resources PDE has developed to assist in overall planning during these challenging times. As we think about focus of instruction, we know that in every school year, there are students who require support in addressing unfinished learning from prior grades, while there may be others whose learning has been accelerated. It is vitally important that educators are supported to make deliberate instructional and assessment choices within a comprehensive system to allow all students to effectively engage with grade level work. A highly developed assessment system includes a balanced approach to using formal and informal assessments, classroom-based evidence showing growth over time, and involving students in the evaluation of their own work. The adoption of a systemic approach enhances the use of assessment data to inform teaching and learning practices. This system should include assessment tools that are congruent with the district's goals and curriculum. Educators should purposefully select assessments and deliberately use the data to make informed decisions about instruction. It is imperative that LEAs incorporate an access and equity lens focused on a diverse learning community as they implement plans for instruction and assessment. Each of the stages of the assessment cycle is discussed on the following slides. As LEAs consider their diagnostic assessment tools to facilitate re-entry decisions and to accelerate learning for all students, these questions may be helpful. Multiple assessment tools are used in system-wide assessment plans to ensure an accurate picture of student achievement. Such assessment practices, whether in person or remote, should be in line with 21st century learning skills and contribute to the success of Pennsylvania students in a world that requires complex skills and abilities. Click on the link to explore PDE resources. Pennsylvania offers educators two valuable free resources. The Pennsylvania Classroom Diagnostic Tools, CDTs, is a set of online assessments divided by content area designed to provide diagnostic information in order to guide instruction, remediation, and/or acceleration. CDT reports provide a snapshot of student performance relative to the Pennsylvania Assessment Anchors and Eligible Content and Keystone Assessment Anchors and Eligible Content. These diagnostic reports provide valuable information typically not identified through other types of assessments. Teachers, through the use of CDT reports, may access additional information through the Learning Progression Maps, a resource that allows teachers to pinpoint where students are currently on the learning continuum. Click on the link to explore the CDT resources. The SAS Assessment Center allows registered users to build assessments by searching the PDE database of standards-aligned items. Additionally, users can generate custom assessment items. View My Assessments allows users to examine any previously created assessments. Using the Check for Understanding function, teachers can create a brief assessment that can be sent to students via an online URL. As students respond, the teacher receives immediate feedback. Click on the link to explore the SAS Assessment Center. Schools can identify specific professionals, such as data analysts, literacy coaches, or psychologists, to place the data into charts or graphs, perhaps by grade level. Such organization is important as it provides teachers reviewing this data the ability to make important interpretations and draw conclusions easily and effectively. The data protocol process provides a methodology for an individual teacher or teacher teams to maximize instructional resources and provides the opportunity to identify learning gaps, why they are occurring, and develop an action plan. Educators can best address student learning needs by pausing to identify focus standards for instruction and utilizing both existing data as well as current diagnostic data to plan for flexible instructional groups. The most effective and equitable way to support students in their learning is to ensure the majority of time is spent engaging with grade level content and remediating or accelerating with precision as necessary. Click on the link to explore the data protocol process. Teachers can use assessments before, during, and after instruction to provide feedback and adjust ongoing teaching and learning to improve student achievement, and to provide appropriate challenges for all students at their instructional level. Groups of teachers can meet in data teams or professional learning communities to discuss results of data and the implications for instructional decision-making. It is possible to hold high expectations for all students, including those requiring accommodations or specially designed instruction, while addressing unfinished learning in the context of grade level work. Since time is a scarce commodity in classrooms, prioritizing content is a critical component as we set instructional goals. Instructional considerations should include instructional delivery. Instructional delivery is differentiated relative to explicitness through modeling, systematic instruction with appropriate scaffolding and pacing, and provision of immediate corrective feedback to students with sufficient opportunities to respond. Grouping. Grouping including flexible grouping such as whole group, homogeneous, small group, partners, heterogeneous, mixed ability, independent, and one-to-one. Time. Time varies relative to a particular area of content, small group instruction versus whole group instruction, and opportunities for students to interact or work independently. Materials. Materials should be evidence-based and adjusted to meet the needs of students. And learning environment. Learning environment reflects a positive and safe environment with clearly defined and consistent expectations. Click on the link to explore PDE resources. PDE has created guidance documents designed to identify and define areas of high-level focus in specific content area instruction, supported by key PA academic standards. To date, we have populated documents for ELA, math, and science. In addition, we have posted social studies, driver's ed, and technology education. We will continue to update this site with additional content areas. Click on the link to explore the high-level focus documents. Teachers must continue to gather relevant and specific assessment data to reflect the ongoing effectiveness of their practice. In doing so, teachers must answer these critical questions. During this time of reflection, teachers can take notes so that they can share their findings with colleagues. They can also think about what additional assessments or instructional resources may be necessary to help plan and teach more effectively. Continual monitoring and adjusting are essential to this process. This recursive process must include 3 essential elements: collecting and analyzing assessment data to determine students' level of functioning and need, matching student needs to evidence-based practices, monitoring progress and continually adjusting the match between need and evidence-based practices. Sharing the progress of individuals and groups engages key stakeholders in a cycle of teaching and learning. We must ask these important questions as we engage learners, families, caregivers, and school leadership in the teaching and learning process. Strong communication among all stakeholders highlights the importance of student accountability, family caregiver responsibility, and leadership commitment to high academic expectations. PDE can support the continuity of education with various resources, including those listed on the screen. For more information on the roadmap for education leaders, please visit PDE's website at www.education.pa.gov.
And that concludes our presentation here today. Online, we do have some of our members here. We have Mr. Brian Campbell. He is the Bureau Director for the Bureau of Curriculum Assessment and Instruction. And within that bureau, I am the Division Chief of Instructional Quality. My name is Dr. Brian Gasper. We also have Dr. Rebecca Baum-Lehman with us. She is our ELA content specialist. We also have Dr. Jean Deisel. She's one of our educational consultants. And we also have Mr. Kevin Morrow. He is our mathematics content advisor. So at this time, if you do have a question concerning any of the items that were presented in our presentation, you're welcome to add them to the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll do our best to answer any of those questions.
Brian, I think we do want to share with the participants that the PowerPoint will be uploaded to the PDE site so that they can view the PowerPoint and click on the links that we referred to.
Correct. It's our intention to post the PowerPoint that you just had seen here. All of the links will be active in that PowerPoint presentation in the event that any of you are planning to utilize that to prevent or to present to your staff or as an intermediate unit or something of that nature. So all of that presentation will be made available.
Brian, this is Jean Deisel. I just wanted to also offer that when you're on the PDE site with the roadmap, you'll see all of those focus of instruction documents for the particular content areas are in a web page format. In a couple of days, we'll be posting them on SAS as PDF documents for an easy download. So that might be useful for folks to know.
Thank you, Jean.
And I think we do have a question in the box for folks, and I'm going to throw this out for Kevin and Becca and Jean on the team. The question: how might the focus standards be used in conjunction with things like MTSS or intervention strategies like
that? I'll gladly answer that. I think just from my standpoint, I think the focus documents were created to really hone in and give a concentrated grade level specific idea of what standards are imperative that students need to know, whether it be from the prior year and or the current year. So utilizing those standards, those prioritized standards documents or the focus documents should be part of any educational program or within those instructional strategies, but then also absolutely within an MTSS program, absolutely.
And I think we make it clear in our opening on each of those documents that we know how important it is to use diagnostic and formative assessment as you're moving through the year, teaching the students at grade level. But then when we have a student who is in MTSS, that would be the time to look at alternative methods such as, individual tutoring or small group instruction to hit some of those missing areas.
And just to add into these documents were created really, and we were very strategic in the wording to really remediate with precision, but then also they can be used for students who are on grade level, but then also making sure that we're focusing on those students who might be accelerated also.
Yeah, that's an important point, that it would work at all three of those levels. And going through the assessment slides fairly quickly for the sake of the presentation, when you get in there and start to maneuver around, you will see that CDT and assessment builder being free resources provided by the department. There's really links to everything you would need if you were not a CDT school to get started, and if you are one, to really dive into the reports and things like that. But it's also important to know we made a very conscious effort that the data analysis tool that's provided, the data team protocols and the data analysis chart, it's compatible with any tool, with any kind of benchmarking or diagnostic test you're using, and that's very purposeful. So, if a school is starting from scratch and wants to start with one of our tools or is established with one of our tools, that's great. And there's links that would show you which reports would correspond with the sections or the steps in that data analysis tool. But it's also set up, you can use that information with anything. So if you're already established with a product, an off-the-shelf product or a local system that's well developed, you can use those tools too. So in any kind of MTSS or intervention system or any kind of system really that's already established, all those tools are still applicable. So it's a great way to start with or to really build on your use of the PDE tools if that's the direction you've gone. But it's all very usable too inside of any system that the school already has established.
And Brian, this is Jean Deisel. I'd just like to, as always, put in a plug for SAS. Kevin Morrow and I have worked hard to put together our SAS Assessment Center. It's got some great new features, as was highlighted in our presentation a few moments ago, where you can not only pull from our SAS database, but it gives you a step-by-step on building your own questions, having the ability to send those questions out to students in real time and get feedback. So Kevin and I, and I'll speak for Kevin, would welcome the opportunity to provide staff development, a Zoom session on the enhanced assessment center and how it can be of value to you. So we would welcome that opportunity. Thank you.
And we do have a second question up here that I know, Jean, you started down this road, but maybe a little more specific or repeating that. Did say, would the standard documents be provided in downloadable form? Right now, they're only viewable on PD website under instruction on the roadmap. Any consideration to downloadable PDFs or Word docs on SAS or PDE? And I believe you said SAS, Jean. Can you expand a tiny bit?
Yeah. We realized at least that as a web page, well, it's interesting to look at. It wasn't really useful for a teacher. So through a lot of convincing and arm tugging and the like, we did get permission to post on SAS. So in the process of making those ADA compliant PDF documents, and I'm suggesting that by the end of the week, they would all be posted. And we'll do a little splash on the SAS homepage to direct you to the location, but we'll have all of the ELA, math, social studies, and other related content area available, again, as I said, likely the end of the week. Thank you. Great question.
For Gene and Kevin here with the SAS Assessment Builder, how would professional development be scheduled? Teachers being very pressed for time, doing remote or face-to-face, how quickly can a teacher make, so 2 questions. One is, can we do the professional development remotely and how we can schedule that in our current situation? Then the second question is how quickly an assessment can be made, saved, and shared. So I know you guys have a lot of experience with that tool.
I'll take this one, Gene. Actually, we can do a Zoom session for the assessment center. I've done them now it takes about an hour to go through all the details and all the work. And then to create an assessment with the wireframe search we have, it goes rather quickly to pull grade level and standard aligned items. To write your own questions does take a little bit longer. And then if you're not familiar with the check for understanding, you can send out a URL assessment for the students to get classroom feedback based on how they answer that. So it goes rather quickly once you become very familiar with it. So it doesn't take very long at all.
And thank you. We got some feedback from the IU5 area that Kevin's sessions have been well received and as advertised. So thank you folks in that area. And I agree, Kevin does a great job. Our whole team does. So anyone that's interested in moving that direction, they can help out. And as Kevin was saying, that's a newer feature in Assessment Builder. Again, we try to provide a lot of the things that folks have in other programs, but there are a lot of apps now that will send out like a question and quick survey form to phones and tablets and things in the remote environment. So the assessment creator can do that now to allow and Quibi and some of those other apps that work that way, Quizlet or different things. So the ability to have your own teacher-made questions, in those kind of apps now, or a similar app.
Well, I think we've offered a significant amount of wait time here for any questions. If there aren't any other questions, we do appreciate your time today. Our team worked very hard on these items, and we're very happy that these are items that are really specific for teachers to help them on two of those such important things: assessment and instruction, as they're moving forward and they're supporting our students here across the Commonwealth. So we do wish you well. All of our contact information is available on our website. If you do have any further questions in a private opportunity, by all means, send us an email and we will definitely get back to you. Or if you'd like to set up some type of training on the SAS assessment, we can definitely do that as well. Thank you so much for your time today, and we wish you well on this school year. Thank you.